Hi, I'm Alex Archbold, and I've been buying and selling antiques since I was 9 years old. From basements to scrapyards, I'll look just about anywhere I can to find lost antiques and collectibles. And sometimes I'll go big and buy everything. With my wife and kids, we run an antique shop in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, filled with some of the most unique items we can find. I never know what's going to happen or who I'm going to meet. This is our life, this is our adventure, and this is Curiosity Inc.
From home, honey.
Good morning, everyone. I am back at the musician's house, the home of Madam Rack, Betty Joan Rack, and I'm here to give you guys a bit of a tour and show you how the renovation's been going. So without further ado, let's go inside and have a look. Now this house has certainly come a long way. Front hallway. It's just so much cleaner in here with everything removed. Here's the front room. I'll zoom out a little bit. Which was completely packed, and her piano was in here. But the floors, underneath all that carpeting, the floors were phenomenal. And to my understanding, these haven't even been waxed yet. Like, that's wax from probably the 1960s or 70s that's just stood up that long, being protected by those rugs. It's, heck, I don't know what they used. Industrial floor wax. All the trim has been cleaned up and the windows have been made to open again. So you get this nice view. There was a really big tree out this window, a massive tree out this window, and you can see the remnants of it. They have to come clean up these wood chips. But you'd have a much more open view from the front of the house. And I'll show you the front of the house later, which I don't think you guys have ever really seen. So we're in the front room and walking our way into the dining room, which when I saw it was basically just almost left as it was, you know, just like tea service could have happened and a lot of clutter was added to it. Pass through. Now the owner of the house has decided to leave a lot of the original details to the house, including this wallpaper that was in here is probably original to the home, and it's was in really good shape, so they wanted to keep it because it had that mid-century sort of look, and they really quite like the 1950s sort of design. So it's been preserved, I'll say. As much of what the house was before, including the little chandelier and the little side cupboard, has just been really lovingly cleaned up and repainted and brought back to new again. Anything that could be saved was saved. So there wasn't a whole interior gut on this house. It was just a lot of reno. And look, here's the kitchen. Now, big thing is the floor was redone with new linoleum. Baseboards were all taken off and cleaned. Now, the stove, which was over here with the fridge, is being moved. Now the stove that was here and the fridge there made it so that you could barely walk in this room. So to remedy that, the fridge is gonna stay over on this side. I don't know what they're doing, maybe a little counter or something here. The fridge is gonna go back in that corner. And this time the stove is going right in the kitchen area here. So you can see some electrical, that's just kind of temporarily in there. That's gonna be for the hood fan, which they'll have to vent outside. So there is still construction happening, but you can imagine a hood fan coming down and a stove right next to the kitchen counter. And those are the original cupboards that were in here when we first came through. The big difference, of course, our friends Hans and Zenobia came and they redid the tile on the backsplash there. That's all brand new. And Hans and Zenobia also were the ones that redid the tile, or the linoleum. But the owner of the house went to great effort and considerable time to clean and completely repaint all of these cabinets and leave them as they were. This is good quality wood, and all the chrome and the trim was taken off and painstakingly cleaned. So they've been painted over and were getting really gross, but they were all stripped and cleaned and brought back anew. All the plating was still in good condition. But the kitchen sure looks a whole lot different than what it did before, but that's essentially original to the house, that kitchen. That's your 1940s kitchen, all intact. And I'm sure once you start getting some appliances in here, it'll feel a lot more usable, of course. Now, one room that scared the heck out of me, the bathroom. Now, this bathroom on the main floor was really nasty. And Paul and I found some bags of shoes and boots and stuff in here, I think on our first or second day. And now the tile, again, Hans and Zenobia did some renovation work in here. Then it has all new tile. You can kind of see the little detail going around the wall that they added. The checkerboard sort of detail, the old style shower head coming off of the faucet, which is very much what it would have been. These original fixtures were just cleaned up and redone so they actually seal and work properly. And the broken mirror that was there was repaired. Well, I shouldn't say repaired, it was replaced. And of course, all repainted, the plaster fixed and everything in here. So the bathroom is a whole lot more bright and usable, but again, they've gone to efforts to really try and maintain that 1940s, late 40s look that this house had going on. The office, well, the office was never really that bad with its corner windows. And the desk that's still in here, the desk used to be over there. The desk may stay in here for a while. I think they just have moved away from the wall while they do some work. But again, really nice little usable space. I'm gonna come around to this corner opposite the windows. And again, all these windows work now. All the latches work, everything works and moves, so you can actually get some fresh airflow through here. I'm curious to see the upstairs and see how that's coming. Steps were repainted. They took the, okay, I see what's happened here. The one thing that kind of impressed me when I first walked through this house was that nobody had ever painted the trim. Usually at some point somebody decides, you know what, I bet that trim would look nice white or something, and then the trim gets painted. This house never had any of the wood painted over, so all this wood was still here, untouched. Somebody did paint the lower step though, and so the owner of the house has stripped the paint off the bottom, so it kind of blends and matches a little bit better with that door that goes to the upstairs area. It's not as mismatched having it painted. So just the lower step looks like it's been stripped, and the rest of the steps, all that rubber trim has been removed. And they've started to put some paint down. The banister also, I think they've sanded it and refinished this because it's got a nice new gloss to it. Let's go upstairs and have a look. Okay. The original Battleship linoleum still in place. I guess it was in good condition up here, so they were able to keep it. Upstairs bathroom, again, new tile. And the sink has been totally repaired. This sink was not really functioning. In fact, it used to back up terribly. But, we've got running water, again, back in the upstairs here. And a toilet that works. At one point, that was the only toilet that worked in this whole house, and it barely worked. Let's see if I can get some lights. This was Betty Jones' bedroom. See if I can get these curtains opened up. Probably closed because, it gets a lot of sun in this room. And it's been very warm this week. But again, the windows are redone. The room is nice and clean, original fixtures, and again, the floor has just been cleaned up. That original tile was in decent enough shape they could just leave it as it was. This is the room that was piled completely up to the roof with clothing. And now it's empty. Again, curtains are closed, but look, it does get a lot of nice natural light in this room. When you get these plus 40 Celsius kind of days, you got to keep the curtains closed to try and keep things cool. This is where the secret room was. Let's see if I get some lights on in here. And it looks pretty much the same, but empty. There's a little doorway. What's happened in here? Oh, it's all new insulation. No more squirrels. It was insulated with pine cones before, but they've sprayed and put brand new insulation in there. The lights turned off. And we'll head back downstairs. Spent a lot of time in this house. But there's been a few big changes outside, which I have to show you. The inside of the house has come a really long way, and they've started renovations of the exterior. So far, they've got the blue painted above the house and sort of the dormer areas. The trim has been painted out white. The windows have all been trimmed back out again. Trees have been removed, but there's a lot of work to do, and that's where they're hoping that this next auction really helps them out. So far, they've got plans to get all the concrete fixed in the front here. As you can see, it really settled down. This high point here used to be ground level, and it's sunk probably about 1.5 feet. Well, it's probably sunk, you know, I guess as much as what we see right here. And so all of this is getting taken out very soon and getting repaired, as well as a brand new driveway planned right down to that stake. It's gonna come in. And if you'll notice, one thing that's not here anymore, there's no garage. This is where the Cadillac came from. This is where sort of this whole adventure began. The garage was taken out. It was not really a safe structure any longer, so it was removed. And this whole backyard needs to be landscaped and renovated. And basically, funds have been spent and they're at a standstill. But with any luck, this next auction that the homeowners are putting on at Kastner will give them the funds they need to help finish off a lot of this work that needs to be done. And I'm kind of excited to see what the homeowner does have planned for the outside, because the inside is coming along. And I do have to tell you guys something really cool. Now, as you know, this room that I'm in right now, this is where Madame Rack's piano was. This is where she taught students for years and years and years. And there was a lot of music flowing through these walls. And the homeowners told me, and I didn't know what the plans were for the home, that he would really like to do ensemble work. He'd like to have students and musicians be able to use this space sort of as a safe haven for musicians to come and hang out and be able to put music together. And I think that's a great idea. They're gonna refurnish it. They're gonna make it sort of a musical paradise for people who are in that industry. And so I've decided the right thing for me to do is to return Betty Jones' piano back where it belongs. Knowing that this is going to be a house that's used as a studio, I'm re-donating, giving the house the piano back that was here for so many years. And I think that just seems so fitting that this house be used for music once again. So at some point the piano will be back. I guess they'll come pick it up from the store. I know I had plans to put the piano over at my own shop, but hey, you hear that they're gonna be using it for something like that. That's only the right thing to do, is to put the piano back in the house. So guys, lots of great work going on here. If you've been following the series and you do want to just watch the auction, there's a couple days left. I think it ends July 3rd. I know it ends July 3rd. It's kauctions.ca. It's a musician's house auction sale. And that was some of the other jewelry that, not me, but the homeowners had found in the bank vaults. And that will be going back towards renovating this property. So some great transformations taking place. I will probably do an update once it gets furnished and once the piano's back in and all that. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the little update video, and we'll see you all soon. Bye for now.